Hey guys, welcome to Zelda Dungeon. This is Zelda News Update. I am your host, Bastion. This is a sort of recap video of everything that we've learned about Hyrule Warriors, and it is a lot, so bear with me. I'll try to get through all of this as quickly as possible. But let's get to that information. We've been inundated with a whole bunch of information from Famitsu magazine and all kinds of interviews, so we finally have information about Hyrule Warriors before E3, which is nice. First of all, we know quite a bit about the plot. We know about one of the central characters. Her name is Shia. She is a witch who is tasked with the sort of responsibility of maintaining the Triforce's equilibrium. It's very unusual for Zelda. The Triforce has never needed any kind of human attendant to maintain its equilibrium before, so we'll have to see if that indicates that there's something crazy going on with the Triforce. We do know then, of course, that as far as timeline placement goes, this takes place definitely after Skyward Sword. There was a whole bunch of conjecture that this was going to be that game, that story that takes place before Skyward Sword, mainly due to the way Link's appearance looked. But obviously not the case. The Triforce already exists. This is something that apparently the royal family already... So anyway, we've got Shia, who is a witch whose task is to maintain the Triforce's equilibrium. She, however, has quite a bit of a crush on Link, who is just a soldier in training, presumably at Hyrule Castle, and she is jealous of Link's association with Zelda. So we already know right from this bit of information that Link and Zelda somehow already know each other. Could this be a game that takes place post one of Link's adventures, so that they're already connected in some kind of way, and then Link has gone on to further his career as a soldier or something? It's a love triangle. She has a crush on Link. So a woman scorned, she ends up getting filled with wickedness due to her jealousy, and so she's got these two minions. One is called Wizro, which is obviously a Wizrobe, right? And Valga, who looks like a human version of the Dragon Volvaga, so that's interesting. And due to her jealousy and being filled with wickedness, she throws Hyrule into chaos. They've been doing Zelda titles lately where Link starts out in a different outfit besides his regular green tunic, and then he eventually dons the green tunic as a symbol of him taking on the quest. Same thing in this game, he starts out in this soldier in training chainmail, but then we see that later on he does in fact, of course, put on the green tunic. So they're continuing on with that new tradition. Something that really caught my eye is the fact that two players can play simultaneously in a local setting. You have one player using the gamepad, and that's their screen into the battle, and then the other player is using their TV screen as their window into the battle, and I assume that you can be competing against each other, so that's pretty exciting. It'll be a lot of fun, I think. But then it was stated that during single play, the gamepad screen will be used as your sub-menu, as you would expect. Some information that we got is that the gameplay will evolve with your ability to choose from a variety of main characters to play as well as your ability to equip different kinds of weapons. And contrary to typical Zelda titles, it does have weapon upgrade abilities. So you can take that same sword and upgrade it to a new sword. Of course, eventually you'll probably have to find the Master Sword. But it also has elements of character growth, which brings to mind RPG elements, like you level up or something, so eventually your character gets physically stronger. It's just not dependent completely upon the weapon. That's pretty interesting. Completely different from Zelda, of course, except for Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link. It's interesting to have a brand new game sort of harkening back to that old black sheep. It's said that the game does use the Dynasty Warriors series gameplay in lieu of the typical Zelda gameplay, so it will feel much more like a Dynasty Warriors game than a Zelda game in the actual gameplay, but that contrary to the Dynasty Warriors series, it is going to use Z targeting from the Zelda games. Unfortunately, the spin attack, which has been in practically every Zelda game since A Link to the Past, is kind of not making an appearance. Something that looks an awful lot like the spin attack is going to be used instead, but that's a specific kind of attack, a specific kind of spin attack from the Dynasty Warriors games, and it will be called whatever that is in English. It's like Moru in Japanese. So that's replacing the spin attack, but it's basically the spin attack, so it's not that big of a deal, I guess. Bombs will be in the game, and very interestingly, it appears that you don't just have to use those against enemies. Now, it's been speculated that this game, being basically a Dynasty Warriors game, isn't going to have any exploration at all. You're basically plopped, you and your army versus some enemy character and their army, clashing against each other in a field of some kind, and then, or an arena or whatever, and then that's it. There's no exploration. But it has been hinted at the fact that bombs can unlock new paths, possibly leading you to new items or new weapons. So maybe you can bomb through like rock walls and find secrets. That would help it feel much more like a Zelda game and not just a Dynasty Warriors game with Zelda paint all over. Mr. Eiji Aonuma himself, the executive producer behind all things Zelda lately, he says that he was very surprised by the sheer amount of playable characters in the game. We only know about a few of them though. Of course we know about Link, we also know about Impa, and she's the appointed captain of the Hyrule army, and she uses a gigantic sword. That's going to be a lot of fun. So we know that the game coming out in Japan has several different versions that will be available. These have not yet been announced for the US. In fact, we don't even have a specific date or month for the US release. I'll get to that in a bit. But as far as what different versions are going to be available in Japan, there will be the least expensive option will be digital, and it will be less expensive than the physical copies. And then we have two different premium box versions. We have a regular premium version, which contains a Zelda clock. That's kind of cool. Some kind of official book, and then 3 costume changes for Link. And so these could probably be different tunics, maybe, or maybe even something more dramatic, like turning into Goron Link. And then we've also got a treasure chest version, which contains all that same stuff, and then 2 additional power costumes. I guess those might be costumes for the other side. No details about that yet. And also Link's scarf. I guess this is something that actually, a physical scarf that you can wear that looks like Link's, will come into that super expensive $100+ version. Kind of tempted if it comes stateside. They say that the game is currently 70% done. Sounds about right. If it's coming out in August, they're just about finished with it. They also said that it will be playable at E3, and just so you know, both Mossies and myself will be at E3, along with some people from our sister site, Gen Game. We'll be there to give you all of the newest info that we get about Hyrule Warriors and anything else Zelda related. And I suspect there just may be some more Zelda related stuff to tell you guys about. Just a hunch. And then also we'll be doing footage of the game, of the different demos from Hyrule Warriors, of us playing it, giving you some sort of feedback as far as what we feel about it. So definitely stay tuned to the Zelda Dungeons YouTube channel for all of that stuff during and before and after E3. Also, we did learn an interesting bit of tidbit that they did not announce, which is that there will be DLC in the game. They didn't announce this, but one of the screenshots shows a tab for DLC, so nice job, Nintendo, accidentally revealing something you didn't mean to, probably. No information about what that DLC could be. If you want my own personal thoughts and opinions about what that is and about what all of this means to me as a Zelda fan, you can watch my video about it by clicking here over on my own channels. Again, stay tuned to Zelda Dungeon around E3, during E3. We'll have tons of videos and information for you. See you guys next time. Bye.